Hello, welcome to Chapter 9, Human Resource Management. Human Resource Management consists of the activities managers perform to plan for, attract, develop, and retain an effective workforce. The purpose of the strategic human resource management process is to get the optimal work performance that will help realize the company's mission and vision. Three concepts important to human resource management are human capital, knowledge workers, and social capital. Strategic human resource planning consists of developing a systematic, comprehensive strategy for understanding current employee needs and predicting future employee needs. Understanding current employee needs requires first doing a job analysis to determine by observation and analysis the basic elements of a job. Then a job description can be written which summarizes what the holder of the job does and how and why he or she does it. Next comes job specification, which describes the minimum qualifications a person must have to perform the job successfully. Predicting employee needs means a manager must become knowledgeable about the staffing in an organization and might need and the likely sources of staffing, perhaps using a human resource inventory to organize the information. Recruiting is the process of locating and attracting qualified applicants for jobs open in the organization. Recruiting is of two types, internal and external. Internal recruiting means making people already employed by the company aware of job openings as through job postings. External recruiting means attracting job applicants from outside the organization. A useful approach is the realistic job preview, which gives a candidate a picture of both positive and negative features of the job and organization before he or she is hired. The selection process is a screening of job applicants to hire the best candidates. Three types of selection tools are background information, interviewing, and employment tests. Background information is gained through application forms, resumes, and reference checks. Interviewing takes three forms. The unstructured interview involves asking problem questions, probing, to find out what the applicant is like. The structured interview involves asking each applicant the same questions and comparing their response to a standardized set of answers. The first type of structured interview is a situational interview in which the interview focuses on hypothetical situations. The second type of structured interview is the behavioral description interview in which the interviewer explores what applicants have actually done in the past. Employment tests are legally considered to consist of any procedure used in the employment selection decision process, but the most common tests are ability tests, personality tests, performance tests, and integrity tests. Some companies have assessment centers in which management candidates participate in activities for a few days while being assessed in the performance test by evaluators. Other tests include drug testing, polygraphs, and genetic screening. With any kind of test, an important legal consideration is the test reliability, the degree to which a test measures the same thing consistently, and validity, whether the test measures what it purports to measure and is free of bias. Compensation has three parts: wages or salaries, incentives, and benefits. In the category of wages or salaries, the concept of base pay consists of the basic wage or salary paid employees in exchange for doing their jobs. Incentives include commissions, bonuses, profit-sharing plans, and stock options. Benefits are additional non-monetary forms of compensation, such as health insurance, retirement plans, and family leave. Companies often perform what is known as onboarding programs that help employees to integrate and transition to new jobs by making them familiar with corporate policies, procedures, cultures, and politics by clarifying work role expectations and responsibilities. 3 ways in which newcomers are helped to perform their jobs are through orientation, training, and development. Orientation consists of helping the newcomer fit smoothly into the job and organization. Following orientation, the employee should emerge with information about the job routine, the organization's mission and operations, and the organization's work rules and employee benefits. Training must be distinguished from development. Training refers to educating technical and operational employees in how to do their current jobs better. Development is a term describing educating professionals and managers in the skills they need to do their jobs in the future. Both training and development may be effected through on-the-job training methods and off-the-job training methods. Performance management is defined as a set of processes and managerial behaviors that involve defining, monitoring, measuring, evaluating, and providing consequences for performance expectations. It consists of 4 steps: define performance, monitor and evaluate performance, review performance, and provide consequences. Performance appraisal consists of assessing an employee's performance and providing him or her with feedback. Appraisals are of 2 general types, objective and subjective. 2 good reasons for having objective appraisals are they measure results and they are harder to challenge legally. Objective appraisals are based on facts and are often numerical. An example is management by objectives. Subjective appraisals are based on a manager's perception of an employee's traits or behaviors. Trait appraisals are ratings of subjective attributes such as attitude and leadership. Behavioral appraisals measure specific, observable aspects of performance. Most performance appraisals are made by managers, but they may also be made by coworkers and subordinates, customers and clients, and employees themselves. Sometimes all of these may be used. In a technique called the 360-degree assessment, in which employees are appraised not only by their managerial superiors, but also by their peers, subordinates, and sometimes clients. In another evaluation technique, forced ranking performance review systems, all employees within a business unit are ranked against one another and grades are distributed along some sort of bell curve. Performance feedback can be effected in 2 ways. 1. Formal appraisals are conducted at specific times throughout the year and are based on performance measures and have been established in advance. 2. Informal appraisals are conducted on an unscheduled basis and consist of less rigorous indications of employee performance. Managers must manage promotions, transfers, disciplining, and dismissals, which often involve replacing an employee with a new employee. As regards replacement, turnover must be distinguished from attrition. Turnover occurs when an employee abandons, resigns, retires, or is terminated from a job, and the employer seeks to replace him or her. Attrition occurs when an employee retires or when the company eliminates his or her job and the employer leaves the vacancy unfilled. In considering promotions, managers must be concerned about fairness, non-discrimination, and other employees' resentment. Transfers or moving employees to a different job with similar responsibility may take place in order to solve organizational problems, broaden managers' experience, retain managers' interest and motivation, and solve some employees' problems. Poor performing employees may need to be disciplined or demoted. Dismissals may consist of layoffs, downsizing, or firings. An exit interview is a formal conversation between a manager and a departing employee to find out why they are leaving and to learn about potential problems in the company. 4 areas of human resource law that any manager needs to be aware of are labor relations, compensation and benefits, health and safety, and equal employment opportunity. Labor relations are dictated in part by the National Labor Relations Board, which enforces procedures whereby employees may vote to have a union and for collective bargaining. Collective bargaining consists of negotiations between management and employees about disputes over compensation, benefits, working conditions, and job security. Compensation and benefits are covered by the Social Security Act of 1935 and the Fair Labor Standards Act, which established minimum wage and overtime pay. Health and safety are covered by the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970. Equal employment opportunities covered by the EEO, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, whose job is to enforce anti-discrimination and other employment-related laws. Three important concepts covered by EEO are discrimination, which occurs when people are hired or promoted or denied hiring or promotion for reasons not relevant to the job, such as skin color or national origin. 2, affirmative action, which focuses on achieving equality of opportunity within the company. And 3, sexual harassment, which consists of unwanted sexual attention that creates an adverse work environment and which may be of two types. The quid pro quo type, which may cause direct economic injury, and the hostile environment type, in which the person being harassed experiences an offensive work environment. Another area of concern, though not covered by EEO laws, is bullying, repeated mistreatment by one or more perpetrators. Bullying is obtrusive, physical, psychological, verbal, or nonverbal behavior that is threatening, humiliating, or intimidating. Labor unions are organizations of employees formed to protect and advance their members' interests by bargaining with management over job-related issues. Workers organize by signing authorization cards designating a certain union as their bargaining agent, and if enough cards are signed, the National Labor Relations Board will recognize the union as a bargaining unit. Among the issues unions negotiate are the Union Security Clause, which states workers must join the union, at least pay benefits toward it. The 4 types of workplaces are closed shop, union shop, agency shop, and open shop. Unions also negotiate wage rates, including 2-tier wage contracts with newer employees being paid less, and cost of living adjustments giving wages that increase with cost of living. Sometimes unions must negotiate give-backs in which employees give up previous wage or benefit gains in return for something else. To avoid strikes, labor management disputes may be resolved through grievance procedures or through mediation or arbitration.